Recently, strange things have been happening a lot lately. In a recent live chat with over 1,000 concurrent viewers, a viewer repeatedly typed the same thing over and over into the chat room. Hashtag Fifth Avenue, New York, with 666 before or after it. The participants largely ignored the posts at first, but as they kept coming and pumping out, people started asking questions of the mysterious live chatter. I was busy recording for a video and where I was watching a live chat, and I just clicked through and ignored it, but I will say that the posts stood out to me. Later that night I fell asleep and a strange thought crossed my mind. Was the poster playing a game, or was he on to something? This morning on my Twitter, I just happened to see Fifth Avenue Anon again, so this time I took a peek down the rabbit hole, and the first thing I read was, "Are you ready to see Wonderland?" Are you ready to see Wonderland? 666 Fifth Avenue in the Cabal. And it has a lot of hashtags that I believe aren't there for any other reason but to drag people that have researched these things over to this new topic. Now, I will say this topic goes to a lot of very strange places, and if you give me a second, I'll try to show all of them to you and then explain what I've found so far. So let me go ahead and tell you what they say. He says, "I'm going to attempt to give you the 40,000 view here. The 40,000 view here. So stick with me. Fifth Avenue Anon doesn't use a trip code identifier, so you have to pick him out based on his style and the info he's dropping, which at first threw me off, honestly, but that's how every other poster starts out. This is amazing stuff we're learning about here, and I'll try to format it in as understandable a way as possible. This is a staggering rabbit hole, but dive on in. This was Fifth Avenue's first post. I may have purchased 666 Fifth Avenue, but hasn't anyone read Daniel 7:20? Do I look stout to you? That theory is humorous but distracting. I wonder who started it. Why was the building bought? Security? Surveillance? Think strategy. Of course, Daniel 7:20 reads, "And of the 10 horns that were on his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows." This post got Anons digging. Anons, of course, being anonymous researchers. The things you run across when you read every word on this board. Anons who don't pay attention miss gems like this. Is it a gem? Maybe. Could be a poison pill, no one knows. Interesting. 666 purchased for strategy. Wonder why. Was it comped by clowns before it was bought? Was it the center of the Pentagon of buildings in NYC and busts their power structure once it's owned by someone who isn't a Satanist? And what better a way to say to the Cabal than by buying the 666 building, renumbering it to 660, and rebuilding it? That's right, Kushner had been trying to buy the property. This was the proposed design. More on that right here, it says. Zaha Hadid Architects unveils 666 Fifth Avenue. Skyscraper for Kushner Companies. A super tall skyscraper designed by Zaha Hadid Architects and developed by the family of Donald Trump's son-in-law has been proposed for Midtown Manhattan. Of course, Kushner was denied and his plans rejected. Anon, Fifth Avenue Anon, responded with "Keep digging." Why would they want to stop the further development of the building? What is the history and who was involved? One anonymous poster suggested it had to do with the Inferno technology that Lucent was developing. In this building, Lucent Technologies operates and does research into RFID chips meant to be implanted into your right hand, the mark of the beast. They use an operating system called Inferno. The name Lucent is also strikingly similar to Lucifer. Kushner redevelopment plan for the 666 Fifth Avenue deemed not feasible by partner. And a link. What a hole of a mess. Hope Lucent has been kicked out already. Connected to MH370 question mark? And here are the links from the post. Of course, there's no reason to get deep into them yet, but it's definitely interesting. Trump friend Steve Roth says the grand scheme has gone away, putting project in doubt. And one more time, Fifth Avenue Anon responds, Lucent is not an important reason as to why we bought the building. However, there was a purpose. Concerning that partner, MSM shifted the name, narrative. We found out that the lithium batteries that malfunctioned while being in contact with skin caused a sore that would blister. Revelation 16:2 is referenced. This information got into the wrong hands, so Serge and Russo stepped down. Why is this important? Whose hands? These specific chips were not going to be for the public, only the elite at first. Privilege. Then the masses would beg for it. Sick. Now, of course, Revelation 6:2 states, And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Any connection to Lucis Trust? 666. See if you can see the answer, or see if you can answer this question. I couldn't find info between the building and Lucis Trust, which led to Fifth Avenue pointing this out. Here is what you're looking for. Look people who are connected to both Lucis Trust and Lucent Technologies, and you'll have your answer. And he references a CIA.gov library PDF file, which I'll bring up in a moment. Probe of AFSA, CIA's occult. Donner gave AFSA 23,000. Temple received 15,000. Johnson, former CIA aide. So the gist of it is, the CIA has a history of using secret financing programs to finance occult organizations and research. Organizations that are made to look like public endowments or whatever. The point is, there's a public face to the organizations that mask their true purpose. Pay attention to this part. The Temple of Understanding, according to the source, is fundamentally an occult movement with ticks to such mystical and metatheological movements as the Arcane School of New York, and pay close attention right here, of New York City, and the Lucis Trust of London, England. The arcane or hidden and secret mysteries include not only mystical but also banking and political mysteries, according to the source at the Department of Justice. As illustration of the types of persons involved, the source said the top American officials at the CIA, the Foreign Service, and the Department of Defense have been actively recruited for membership in, quote, the Temple. Robert McNamara. Two of the more prominent Washington members of the Temple, the source claimed, were Mr. and Mrs. Robert McNamara. Mr. McNamara was formerly the Secretary of Defense and is now the head of the World Bank. The important thing to note is that Anons keep digging on Lucent, which, by the way, is very interesting to look into. Finally got smart and figured out what to type. I don't call myself the village idiot for any reason, I guess. Recently, it was announced that AT&T has split into 3 separate companies. One of the 3, the company formerly known as Bell Laboratories, has been freshly named Lucent Technologies. It goes deep. You're telling me that AT&T was part of this crap way back? Lucent's statement that, quote, Inferno internet computer applications are written in a new language called Limbo, which was designed specifically for the Inferno software environment. Inferno Limbo, where inferno means hell, and limbo is the act of being suspended in a lower compartment of hell, awaiting judgment or punishment. Communication protocols designed into Lucent's Inferno software are called Styx. In pagan mythologies and religions, Styx is a synonym for the fiery brimstone underworld region which devils reside. In other words, hell. Styx is also the river that you cross and you pay the ferryman to enter the underworld. Lucent, Inferno, Limbo, Styx. All synonyms for hell, all with deeper meanings. 666 Lucent Technologies, 6th floor. Anon above does a good job of summarizing the important points. AT&T split into 3 companies and have a freaky program reflecting a hellish nature. Fifth Avenue Anon and then asks a series of questions. You're getting close. Keep digging, Anons. I'm not spending my night here without cause. Refer to my older posts. What is NFC Pay? Who created it and what network does it use? How is it related to the RFID chip? Can they link the two together? Why did AT&T buy Lucent? To stay clean? To create a map? It's important. A response to it is, what a mess. I don't realize NFC was connected to the Mark of the Beast, but makes sense. Wave your hand and pay once they get that far along. Will it happen here in the United States? I would think that it'll all be stopped. I actually need to get to bed myself. Thanks for crumbing this, and I'll be back in the morning if I don't catch your next post. Fifth Avenue then proceeds to drop a bombshell. Phase 1 was to begin after she won. Elite implementation and public awareness. World War. They never thought she would lose. Plan B, Europe. Prevention in place. This is all connected. IAWW, no, patriots won't sit idly by. Did Sergei Skripal know? Why would they try to silence him? More importantly, does his daughter know? Hashtag UK Awakening. But she didn't win. So apocalypse literally averted, right? Anon then answers his earlier questions. What is NFC Pay? It's a contactless payment or transaction, a near-field communication. Who created it? Franz Ematman, RFID lead architect, and Philip Margs. NFC was invented by engineers working at Sony and NXP, then known as Philips Semiconductors, in 2002. What network does it use? Cellular telecom networks. How is it related to the RFID chip? Interesting graphic here. We'll look at that in a second. Can they link the two together? Yes. Why did AT&T buy Lucent? To stay clean? Did you mean sell? And he references another site. They even asked more questions. Meant sell. Don't read into it. Keep digging. Focus on chip used for national defense. Who is Charles Walton? Why did the DoD do with his patent? What did the DoD do with his patent? Walton is the father of the RFID. Walton was the father of the RFID. DoD currently uses it to track everything. Servers, supplies, buildings, you name it. DoD uses RFID chips in everything. Confirmed. And another link we'll look at in a moment. Fifth Avenue Anon then has 2 posts filled with questions. Where is the HQ of Alcatel Lucent and who are its investors? How much stock does George Soros own? This is bigger than you know. World War plans are being revealed. For awareness, create a map. How does Homeland Security use RFID technology for border protection? MS-13 flooding into California, Skynet project in China and California, software improvement implement DHS RFID capabilities during facial recognition scans, citizen checks, increases ICE numbers and access, empowers local law enforcement, non-enforcement of law equals prison, declare national emergency or martial law, empower the military to enforce detainment of persons with no record of visa or citizenship. Tourists will not be affected. Build wall through Mexico. Anons respond, and you wouldn't guess who shows up in their answer. It looks like Soros bought 17 million in shares of Nokia in 2010. Maybe he influenced Nokia's 2016 acquisition of Alcatel-Lucent. And it's sourced also. Confirmed, views ties to the CEO. Acquired in case of a need to go to Plan B. Big Nokia connection to China Mobile. What is Nokia's role in 5G? Can 5G connect cloud services, NFC, RFID? What else, and why is it important? And he gets an answer. Implants and the cloud, they would have complete control. Information, money, possibly through control somewhere down the line. 666 Fifth Avenue, just part of their symbolism. So Soros acquired Lucent through Nokia in 2016 in order to move the Beast chip forward in the European Union in case the United States plans didn't work out for whatever reason. This is how Soros operates time and time again. Anon then discovers that the 5G spectrum ties to everything. Nokia leads the way for 5G. Technology is 4 times faster than 4G. Wavelengths in this band can be at small as millimeters, currently used by radio antennas, radars on aircrafts, and security scanners in airports, for example. Nokia and China Mobile are signed as an agreement under which the companies will jointly investigate how China Mobile can extend its offerings under massive connectivity, key growth ones of smart cities, smart transportation, and intelligent video analytics, all sourced to different link articles. And Fifth Anon confirms the significance of the above post. In other words, all commerce would then flow through these dumb beast chips, which reminds me of a verse. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man may buy or sell save he had that mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Fifth Ave Anon responds, he's confirmed Plan B, except 666 Fifth Avenue is more than just symbolism. Dig deeper. Refer to Plan B from my posts. And then Fifth Avenue responds to himself, elaborating further, it's more than just a building. Can you see the Rothschilds and Company floor from 666 Fifth Avenue? How about the Rockefeller Center, who is connected to the top of the Sixes? Jordan Belfort had lunch with who, and who else ate there often? Restaurant security cameras captured it all. The audio is clear and the video is clear. Watch the news. Boom. So now he's connecting the buildings to other locations in New York City. Anon speculate on the significance of the building itself. And they ask the billion-dollar question. Do we know what's underneath it? That's where we're going to stop for right now. Part 2 will be out very soon. Let me know if you're interested in this and if you want another video on this topic. One of the biggest mysteries that we've seen so far, or just a LARP, a game, we don't know yet. Stay tuned and I will keep you updated, and I will explain all this in this playlist. Also, if you guys want to help us out, please donate to PayPal. The link is in the About section. We're trying to hit the mark for our internet bill, which is coming soon, and PayPal's the only way we can get the money without waiting for YouTube to tie it up. We have Patreon, Virtual Shield link in the About section, and also we have a link to Amazon in case there's anything there you want to buy. But PayPal's the only way that we could get the money in time for our internet bill. But if we miss the deadline, we'll figure something out. See you guys soon, and thank you for watching.